fans, UFC 296 is going to be lit, guys. It is going to be on fire. The card got announced last week. I'm here to break it down to you guys. We already know the main event. We already know the co-main event, but the rest of the card got announced. We got ourselves in, I guess you could say, in the co-main event. You got yourself Paddy Pimblett making his return, taking on Tony Ferguson. That is actually going to be a very, very fun fight, guys. A very fun fight. You know, we got Paddy Pimblett, who is a rising star, who has made a really big name for himself, who is a really big up-and-comer in the lightweight division. Some people would say that he may have not won his last fight. I believe his name was against Jared Gordon. And then he's been out of action, I believe, going on a year by the time the fight takes place in December. Because I believe he had a wrist injury or something to that liking. Like he has some kind of injury that he had to heal and let heal and such like that. So he has been out, and now he's going to take on the I was about to say prime, but definitely not the prime, but probably the most dangerous opponent that he has yet to face, Tony Ferguson. Now, we all know Tony Ferguson. We all miss Tony Ferguson in his heyday. Tony Ferguson, we all know he was a beast. The guy beat everybody. The guy beat the who's who in the lightweight division. And unfortunately, we all wanted that Habib fight. Did not come into fruition. And it's something that we never got to see. But it is what it is. But since then, Tony Ferguson has been on a 6-fight losing skid. He's lost to the guys like Nate Diaz, Bobby Green, Justin Gaethje, Charles Oliveira, Michael Chandler, you know, the who's who of the lightweights. He didn't lose to no punks. He lost to the who's who of the lightweight division. So now he's taking on the rising star. Now, I've been hearing a lot of mixed feelings regarding this fight. You know, they've been saying like, oh man, they're feeding Tony Ferguson to the Sharks. But then I'm also hearing like this is actually a really good win-win for the UFC. You got Tony Ferguson, who is a big superstar, and you got Paddy Pimblett, who is a superstar in the making. Now, this actually is going to see, is Paddy Pimblett ready for the top 5? Is he ready for the top 10 in the world of the lightweight division? Is he ready for these guys? Is he ready to go against these guys? What this will be actually be a really good test. So again, a win-win. If Tony Ferguson wins, well then he might stay in the lightweight division a little longer. Maybe do a few things to change up his camp, change himself up, and you never know. Maybe rejuvenate himself. He is going like far down the list. You know, he, like I said, he has been on a downhill for quite some time, but you never know. He could make a turnaround, and you never know what might end up happening. Or he loses, and Paddy Pimblett wins, and now we have another star in the making, which he is already a star, but if he were to win in a really star-making fashion, it would actually be a really big statement for Paddy Pimblett. So it's a very fun, exciting fight for 296. You also got on that card Stephen Wonderboy Thompson versus Shavkat Rakhmonov. We already know Shavkat Rakhmonov. He is a beast. He is like literally your Khamzat Chimaev. We all want to see that fight with Khamzat Chimaev and Shavkat Rakhmonov. I mean, that guy is just a monster in the division. Nobody wants to fight him. You know, his last fight that took place was against, I believe, Jeff Neal back in January of this year. You know, like, Jesus Christ, like, nobody really wants to go toe-to-toe with this guy. Why not? You know, and you know why not? It's because he is literally that dangerous. He is literally that scary. You do not want to go toe-to-toe with this guy because he is such a beast. But now you got Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, the veteran of the welterweight division, going toe-to-toe with him, willing to put it all on the line. You know, Stephen Wonderboy is actually making a name for himself, you know, as a little comeback here and there. He's actually won quite a few fights. We already know that great fight that he had against Kevin Holland last year, and he's actually had a few other good fights. He was supposed to fight in, I'm trying to blank on oh, actually, I believe it was July 29th. That big old card, I believe it was Michelle Pereira, if I understand correctly. But then I believe Michelle stepped in much heavier, and then Wonderboy did not want to go take that fight on. He did not want to give up the whole weight percentage that was going to be to Pereira and such like that. So, and then he didn't want to take another short notice fight, you know, which is understandably so. The guy is in his 40s and he wants to try to get another shot at the title. So of course, if you take that risk by going after another guy, another young up and comer, or another short notice fight, you risk that losing. And then of course, being at 40, you're gonna have to start from the bottom up again, and it's really difficult. You know, Wonderboy has worked really hard to get to the level that he's at right now. So I'm sure he does not want to risk. Doesn't want to risk losing. Doesn't want to risk starting from the bottom again. So now he is going toe-to-toe with a very, very dangerous opponent. Now, if Wonder Boy wins, this is actually a really good chance for him to get right back in that title contention. This is a really good chance for him. He is probably like one more win away to actually fighting for the title again. Guaranteed. Whether you got Shavkat Rakhmonov, I feel like if he does beat Wonder Boy, it's a pretty big statement, but he still has a little bit more work to do. Wonder Boy isn't in his prime. Wonder Boy is in 40, and he's still really good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to take away the win if Shavkat Rakhmonov wins. I'm not trying to take that away from him whatsoever. But it isn't a prime Wonder Boy whatsoever. So I feel like if Shavkat Rakhmonov does get a victory, he will still need to do a little bit more. Where Wonder Boy, if he gets a victory, I feel like he's maybe one, at the very most 2 fights away from fighting for the championship of the world in the welterweight division. Also on this card, we got ourselves the rising star, the Irish rising star, Ian Garry, taking on Vicente Luque. Again, this is actually a lot of noise going on in the welterweight division. We're starting to see these fights come into fruition. You got a lot of fights in this welterweight with that welterweight championship on the line. So actually, there's actually a really good chance for one of these guys to be actually a good backup. You never know. Maybe actually there's somebody that can be considered a backup. With Leon Edwards taking on Colby Covington. So with Ian Garry taking on Vicente Luque, it's actually a really tough fight for Ian Garry. It's like Vicente Luque is no punk. Vicente Luque is a very, very dangerous opponent. We saw what he was able to do to Rafael dos Anjos and what he was able to do to guys like Tyron Woodley. Yeah, these guys are a little bit past their prime and such, and he definitely isn't. They weren't his size. Like Ian Garry is a much bigger guy. Much bigger guy. Actually, I feel like that guy could actually make middleweight if he really, really wanted to. That's my personal opinion. But it's actually a really good step up for Ian Garry. Like I said, Vicente Luque is no punk. Vicente Luque is a very tough opponent. You definitely do not want to take him lightly, but I do feel like Ian Garry is going to have the reach and the height advantage going into this. And of course, he's also going to have the youth advantage. Vicente Luque has been around for a while. He's actually had some wars. I remember that war he had with Mike Perry. Remember when he completely, reattached his nose and stuff like that. So yeah, he's done a lot, and Vicente Luque has been around a lot longer. So I feel like Ian Garry's definitely going to showcase his skill a little bit, and if he does get this victory, then it's a really good chance for him to start talking and going against the heavy hitters of the welterweight division. Of the welterweight division, guys. So I definitely see a lot of star-making potential fights coming into this card. Like I said, you got a lot of great action going into this card, and I'm sure they're going to announce more for the prelims and such. I cannot wait. I feel like it's probably going to be the best fight card of the year. It's kind of hard to top that July 29th card, where you had Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje for the BMF title. I mean, the who's who fought on that card as well. So we got to see, guys. We got to see, but it is going to be UFC 296. I cannot wait. So, guys, let me know what you guys think about this card. Let me know what your favorite fight is on the card. Let me know what fight you're looking forward to most. Just let me know, guys. Like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.